Welcome to Andalusia, Spain's southernmost region, famous for Moorish architecture, historic cities, and dramatic landscapes.
I get messages about how to decode.
Its distinctive energy has kept me here for over 30 years. And during this time, I've learned so much of its ancient secrets and its forbidden knowledge.
Yeah, you feel the history and you feel all the souls who've been part of this. Look how much they put in to make this.
And then I asked, was this a place for healing? And it was sound healing. They use sound frequency. The frequencies are in the stone. So walking around, I'm getting very lightheaded because we're getting codes from the stones.
As I walked in, all of a sudden I got hit with heavy energy.
The tomb of Christopher Columbus has a lot of symbolism on there, and it's strange. Not a lot of people come behind it from here. They all go to the front. Why do they not like to come here? Come closer.
Oh my gosh. Whoa.
Join us as we travel through the center of Andalusia and unravel just a few of its legends and mysteries.
Walking through this place is really about receiving codes from our ancestors, and awakening that within ourselves.
So you just got that?
Oh yeah, walking through those tunnels, I could really feel the emotions of the gladiators.
Fascinating.
Forward to this. Okay, welcome to this new episode in the 90s somewhere. I'll have to check which episode I'm on. I believe it's 96, but I could be wrong. So today we are going to be talking about face reading and characteristics of face reading and give you some insight into it. So we all read faces unconsciously. And so I say to people, why not start reading consciously? So today you'll learn to do it with precision and insight. So in the show, we'll explore advanced face reading analysis techniques, how to read personality traits through bone structure and facial features, the connection between facial expression and chronic emotional patterns, what asymmetries in the face reveal about inner conflict and growth, advanced techniques to read the 3 zones of the face for complete personality assessment. And in this ancient wisdom, we transform how you understand yourselves and others at the deepest level. So that's kind of what face reading is all about. So it's there's a lot to learn. And so every Tuesday, I do invite people to a free online Zoom call. And so if you're interested, you can go to my website and sign up there and jump on some of these calls, and you get notifications what we are talking about each week. So what I do is about 20 minutes of teaching, and then we have a little bit of a Q&A, but the only part that is recorded is the teaching part, so which goes up the following Friday on my Rumble channel. So please sign up on my Rumble channel, and it's under the Lightworkers Institute, and you will get notifications. And so on when the teachings have come up, and all the videos are there. You can go back on all different topics about the hands and the feet and different parts of the body and how energy flows. So with that, we're going to go straight into some of the teachings. And what I'm using today is Hermann's book called Face to Face with Facts. And he wrote this book probably, I'm going to say 20 years ago. And so, and it's kind of more advanced than what we do in our online training of face reading and or the event, the practitioner course in Costa Rica here, where we spend one whole day learning how to read a face And then from there, we can go deeper and deeper. So you learn the structure, how to read the face. So in a face reading, and I've done thousands across Canada and the United States. And first of all, what we look at is overall face shape, prominent feature. Then we go hair, hairline, forehead, eyebrows, eyes, nose, lips, and then chin, cheeks, and cheekbones, and forehead lines, or any lines in the face, what they mean, and of course the ears. And so and that you develop a skill over time, and we're all reading, like I say, each other at a unconscious or subconscious level. But why not start reading consciously? And instead of saying someone's an a-hole, you can actually say, oh, that's a hurt little boy or hurt little girl in there. And we try to look at the beautiful qualities, and then maybe some things that they might want to work on. Whether it's the face isn't symmetrical, and they could be out of balance a bit in maybe more in their left brain function or the right brain function. So with that, I'm going to share the screen and shrink this all down. Up, face reading book. So this is Hermann's face reading book. I'm just going to turn off my video too. Okay, this is his book. It's called Face to Face with Facts. And I'm going to scroll right quickly through it. This is Hermann right here. He's the founder of the Psychosomatic Therapy College in Australia. And I started working with him in 2000. In the year 2000 is when I took my training. And then I was with him for 14 years. I brought him into Canada, teaching with him every spring, 24/7 for 4 months out of the year. We traveled together and opened up cities right across Canada and the United States. And then he started just coming just for the Masters and Teachers program, and he passed away in 2017. So so I have been back to Australia to bring the other teachers up to my level, because I had spent so much time with him. Not even his wife had as much training as I did. So this is his face reading book, like I say, and I'm going to speed right through some of the introduction here. And so what we look at in a face is the frontal view, is how people are facing the world. So the right side of the face crosses over into left brain function, and that's the analytical, the personality, or the mental side. It's male or masculine, yang energy, action and doing side. So we look at the length of the face and the width of the face. So, and then when we get into some face shapes, you'll see what this means. And then the left side of the face crosses over into right brain function, and this is our creative side, our soul side, or emotional side. It's female or feminine energy, the yin. It's our reactions and our caring side. So the width of the face is from the center line. The center line right here shows adaptability and expression with the relevant area of the face. So it's what we put out into the world. And then the height of the face is from the hairline to the chin tip, shows the capacity of the three zones, the mental, emotion, and physical zone. So it's what we aspire to. So one is going upward and one is going outward, right? So that's how we look at when we get into the zones of the face. So here's one that is in profile. It's funny, I don't have my headphones in. I'm just going to quickly put them in. You might get a better volume. or at least if a truck goes by, you won't hear it because I'm up at the road where the sanctuary is down below. So the 3 zones of the face, we look from the chin to just below the nostrils. That's the physical zone. So it's quick reflexes with the mind ready to push into action. So someone that is pulling their chin back, that would mean they're scared of stepping out into the world. Yet if someone is jutting their chin forward, we say they have a stick their neck out attitude. So we look at which is prominent on the face in profile. And then the middle part from the nostrils to the brow bone is the emotional side. And in this person, it shows a strong ego, ready to go out there and very sharp and precise. And that would be determined by his nose, because his nose is quite strong. And it's actually a little bit of a curve to it that, that's reinforcement of the solar plexus, because the nose is solar plexus in the emotional zone. And then the mental zone is from the brow crease up to the hairline. And we see how a person thinks and, the shape of the forehead. So we have gone through some of these in the past shows, but it's always great reminders. And of course, I've been through this, no 2 faces are the same. And I've been through these trainings so many times, and I still learn from every person coming through the training or every person I meet, because you're putting a story together, or the characteristics of a story. Just one different area doesn't say who they are. It's the combination of a lot of different things. And kids can read faces. I've had 11-year-olds who can be some of the best face readers because they don't question themselves. They don't have the same self-doubt as we grow older, or as we mature, let's say. Some of the self-doubt can come in. So we just look at bone, like structure. Structure equals performance. So a round is a round. So this tells me the person's very easygoing, happy, very sensitive, easily influenced, maturing or nurturing, and affectionate. This one often suppresses their own emotions and demands the action of others. This one also can be very manipulative, or can be manipulated, because when we get into the zones, you're going to see the middle part, the emotional part, is the widest. And usually people like this often have big breasts, and the middle part of the body can be expanded. Not always, but that's one of the characteristics. The second one is an oval face shape. And of course, nobody is just one of these shapes. A person can be oval on top and maybe squarish on the bottom. So that's when we combine face shapes. And then when we look in the zones, we can look at what zone of the face, whether it's the bone structure is in the physical part being square, then they're very almost stubborn, but they'll still listen to other people's point of view because the top might be oval. But we'll look at that in a bit. So with her feminine sensitivity and softness, she is warm, idealistic, affectionate, caring of others and their point of view. Curved lines show the willingness to change and be flexible. Thought she will, though she will stand up for her ideals and inner values. Increase this a bit. Then we look at the square type face. And, like kids, they have this puzzle with all the different shapes. That's why they don't have self-doubt, because from a very young age, they're already looking at structure. So, and we're all basically at sacred geometry. So we're all coming, the bone structure is the soul's purpose. So they didn't send you to the wrong body, to the wrong DNA. They sent you to the right body, the right DNA. They forgot one thing, though. God screwed up on sending you with a manual. So he gave it to us to share with you. So this one is more solid, basic, down to earth, resolute, practical, less imaginative.
This one is a doer rather than a thinker with strong earthly passion. He can be fury by nature and physical vitality and tendency to hold his ground. So this would be often what I say, maybe someone, they're doers rather than thinkers. Like, you're going to build a garden, just take out a shovel. Let's not, we don't need a big plan or anything. Let's just go out and do it. So a lot of people that work in the physical world are often square-ish. And we say ish. We don't say you are square. We say ish. These are some of the tendencies. So then we look at the next one would be kind of opposite of the oval face shape. It's just rounded at the corners in the oval one, but here's a rectangular shape. And this one has high ideals, a humanitarian with intellectual drive to represent these in life with the strength and the determination to stand up for them. So they've got a lot of strong bone structure at the bottom here, and also nothing will deter my mind. So they can be supportive, reliable, with good mental and emotional balance, with good vitality to carry it out. With a high mental energy, this one may need grounding because they'll have a lot going on in the mental energy. And then the two opposites is the triangle and the inverted triangular shape. So this one with a triangle shape is resolute with and stubborn. This one can be unreliable, introverted and closed-minded, because here we'll see the top part of the triangle is that they're narrow-minded. They don't have the width. Most of the width is in the physical. He tends to have frustration and anger from suppressed emotion. Vindictiveness can be a result of fixed focus. He needs more flexibility and adapting to others' opinions. So then the next one here, the inverted triangle, is this one. He is highly intellectual, very sensitive, quick, and open-minded, and can be easily upset when misunderstood and needs grounding. The high mental energy can cause physical burnout and oversensitive. So this one has most of the energy in the mental field. This one needs the grounding because they could tip over. So often when I'm reading faces, I says the first thing I'm going to do is cut your head off and put it on a table and see what happens. So this one would topple over, but I also add, don't try that at home. So it's a sort of like a saying that I use. So then we can use this in combination with the above basic types. So this one would be more square on the top, and so they would be very strong-minded, yet need grounding because they might go into an inverted triangle starting from the emotional side down. And then here, this one is oval on the bottom and squarish on the top. This one might be square and then yet still a little bit closed-minded, and often this can come with the temple zone, where if we wax out someone's temple area with hair coming in, then often this can make the face a lot more symmetrical. So we're not going to get into all these. We look at many things, different lines, what's happening, ascending line, descending lines, and seeing how energy is flowing. So when we look at the zones, obviously we're looking at the chakras of the face and the physical chakras. We've got basically base and sacral. And in the emotional zone, we've got the solar plex and the heart chakra. And then starting at the mental zone, we've got the third eye, the throat, the third eye, and the crown. And this is how we see sort of divide those that part of the face into the chakra area itself. So want to get right into looking at different zones and different face shapes. So you can tell this triangular one, it's narrow-minded, kind of tapering off a little bit, starting in the emotional zone, and then got a lot in the physical zone. Here's the rectangular, quite balanced in physical, emotional, and mental. And then the zones in this, the circle one is, or rounded face, the round face is, the width of it is mostly in the middle, which is the emotional zone. So here we've got a square one. So here again might be quite balanced, but they're putting a lot out in width versus height. And then the oval one, here again, good balance, but it's more aspiring to higher things in life, and very sensitive, very flexible in the way they think, but also the way they interact with people, because it's not squared off, it's more oval. So it's more like an egg shape. So if you put them on a table, a shape like that on the table, it'll roll over, stand up, roll over, stand up. Where this one here, the inverted triangle, it's all mostly in the mental zone of the face. And this one would topple over. So it's like walking on a tightrope. And a lot of these people, you know, even their careers, this one could be a rocket scientist. You know, I was so happy that I didn't have, when I got my face read or learned about my face, I said, thank God I don't have to be, you know, intelligent, because mine is, I shouldn't say intelligent. Intelligence comes in many different forms, but I didn't have to be a rocket scientist. I can stay in the, you know, childlike nature, if you want to call it that. So here's some, here again, it's looking at different characteristics and different zones of the face here. This one could be very manipulated in the mental zone, but still very sensitive in the physical. So when we start doing these combinations, that's when it might sound confusing, but it's not. We just can't go into self-doubt. So here we go into a lot of different characteristics. And here's another one we want to look at. So we've got in the mental zone is about 48%, so wide and high, highly intellectual, dominant, with a broad and open mind, overbalances the rest of the personality. So it overrides that sort of. Emotionally, maybe very suppressed. So it's about 26%, so shorter and tapering, quite controlling and guarding in expressing personal feelings. And then physical, 26%, long but narrowing sharply. Length shows good depth of sensitivity in business world, but narrowing creates a weaker foundation and needs grounding. So we also look at the type of chin. Now each chakra we go through step by step, right? The size of the lips, the you know, what color the eyes are, they all mean something. And we keep it very simple. The simpler the better. Is that's why I say young kids they can read faces beautifully. So here's just some different forms. And then of course we look at the forehead, even the width and the height of the forehead, and then the different frame or zones of the face itself, different regions. So observation is the brow bone, in the middle of the forehead is the memory, and then the top part is the imagination. So when hair comes in on the side, or you know, you can change a lot in a hairline, whether you're hanging on from old thought patterns, someone sewed a thinking cap on you. You see this a lot in Native people or East Indian people, where they stay in their belief systems, they can have a lot of hair growing in there, and you can wax that all out to open up their forehead, and they can let go of those thoughts. So these are all the different foreheads. So we're not going to, we've done some shows on this, and yeah, different hairlines. So with that, I am going to bring up my PowerPoint that I have on different face shapes and different students that have come through the training over the years, and I have permission to use some of these pictures. And so what I want to do here is maybe pull out some characteristics where we said, you know, how in advanced reading we can go, and because I had these pictures already, so it was easy to pull them up. So how a person can change over a period of time when they start understanding themselves and what they've done to themselves. So if you look at, this is Brenda, and she came into the class or the training, and on day one, we take a picture. And then when they've come through the 2-week training, and over a period of time, this is the picture. We do the before and after. And you can see that her eyes are nearly as piercing. You look around the mouth, how she was so hard on herself, carefully speaking her words, and how her whole face changed and she softened right up. And this is also by working through the body, getting her feet straight, using the mechanics of the body properly, and see how much she would beat herself up. So this is, let's say, this is the before and after, because what I do is take the original picture that we saw in that previous slide, and we cut the picture in half and we flip it. We put 2 left sides together and 2 right sides to see how her masculine side, her mental state of mind, and or her feminine side, her yin side, and which is the emotional side of her. And this one is terrified of this sumo wrestler. And so when she comes together, falls in, these two are, you know, like this marriage isn't very good here between these 2 sides, and how she realizes what she was doing to herself and how hard she was on herself, how she comes, she falls in love with herself, and then, you know, becomes a beautiful, beautiful marriage within herself and within the energies. And we just grow from there, right? So this is another one. And this is the one you can tell is I've waxed some of her forehead off, and she's opened up quite a bit. And her nose is she's really softened in all areas of her face. And look at the puffiness even out of her face starts to go away. And this takes time. This is maybe in a, you know, 2-week period. But then you grow from there when you realize what you're doing to yourself. But we want to see how she balances out from here to here. And this left side becomes this left side, and this right side becomes this. So how we can change within ourselves. And what I said, the puffiness and stuff is out of her face because she let go of a lot of emotions. And emotions are held in water also. So some of the, you know, the tissue can release some of that energy, or release the emotions, which starts to release the energy so the puffiness can go away. Here's another perfect example of her hair grew in quite a bit at the side here in the temple area, and we waxed her out during the training and took off this little M shape. And how she balanced herself out. It's almost like she's a lot of sadness in the eyes that we see. We look at the eyes and the lips, definitely, and how she comes to terms with herself. She lets go of all that self-doubt, because we took out the mom and dad that are still going on in the forehead, which is the hair that grows in the temple area creates self-doubt. So it's just a little bit of hair we take out, which she becomes more broad-minded. If you can see where she's more narrow-minded here. Her cheekbones, definitely, that's one of her a prominent feature, I would say, at least in her coming in. And cheekbones is ambition to achieve their heart's desire, because the bone structure holds up the eyes, and the eyes are the heart chakra. So you can see how much even when you take off that little bit of hair, it releases the energy, and it's almost like giving it an eye lift, and their eyes open. That hood that goes over the eyes in the top of the eyes is released, because her eyebrows almost relaxes and it starts to lift, because she can see her life in a different view. And of course, all of this is what happens in the body too, when they come to terms with themselves. So this one, yeah, she was really having a hard time here. This one, this left side and this right side. So how she balanced herself out. So I have, hundreds of these pictures. I only use the ones that I have written permission to use in anything that I share in public. So this one, she was a lot of incest from the family. She had a lot of sadness in her eyes, and her lips were very tight. She was very protective, and how she came to terms with that, released it, understood what was happening, how she was holding it, and how she opened up, and the light came into her eyes, and her creativity, which is the lips, opened right up, and she could now speak her truth. So here again, this one I want to show you. This one also, we took out a lot in the hairline, and look how her face balanced out from within the period before the training and after the training. And a lot of this, of course, is done in the magical body-mind communication. This is body analysis. This is all part of the in-person training here in Costa Rica. So I used to travel all across Canada and United States to do these trainings. And then 8 years ago, I says, you know what? Why not do it all at once in a beautiful setting? And that we're finding people are transforming so much faster when they don't go home every night to their own world. They can actually focus on themselves for 2 weeks straight to understand their habits, work on their body language, and get through their fears. And that's the main thing. And I'm really good at calling people. So I always say I rip people apart, but then I put you back with love, and to see their beauty in themselves. And then you start to see the beauty in others. And this is the most important work you can ever do in this lifetime, is understanding yourself. So so I'm going to thank you for being here on this show. And of course, there's so much more in all the videos. If you want to look at all the shows that are up there, we have lots of different topics, and also some of the topics that I do interview people on in different shows that I'm on that we include here. So with that, thank you for being here, and I'm going to stop the recording, stop the sharing.